Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing my X-Men 97 Episode 3 breakdown. I'm super excited. Go check out my last video that I uploaded, which was a X-Men 97 Episodes 1 and 2 breakdown. I did both of them in one video because that's how they premiered. So now I'm up to Episode 3, and there's some interesting stuff in this one, so I'm excited to get into it. Now, so obviously we open up with all the X-Men looking down at the real Jean Grey, and the clone is there, and obviously we see that Madelyne Pryor is a clone of Jean Grey created by Mr. Sinister, and of course, not long after that, Madelyne Pryor then turns into this character called the Goblin Queen, which is very crazy and out there. I like this design. This is like, I was like, why am I turned on by this? And then I looked at what she looks like in the comics, and I was like, oh god, good, thank goodness that they made a way to have her sexy, but not like unveiling, because that is a very like unveiling outfit that she has in the comics. I'm not going to go into too much. I will put a picture up, but that is a very revealing costume. That's like shows off almost everything, which is very much like why? But no. So she turns into the Goblin Queen, and she obviously turns into a Goblin Queen, and she breaks pictures of the X-Men team over the course of the series, like Wolverine, Jubilee, Rogue, Beast, Storm, Morph, all the main characters in this series, a photo of her and Scott, and a photo of Jean and Professor X, which is interesting because she is one of the original X-Men that we saw in the photo in the first episode of the first class with Cyclops and Jean Grey back when she was Marvel Girl. And so Madelyne Pryor makes the reality hell, basically, in the X-Mansion, and the X-Men are trapped in the X-Mansion. It's turning into kind of a hell kind of place. The X-Men get trapped there. Jean Grey shows up and saves them. As soon as they get out, she faints again and goes back to sleep. Now we do see Rogue and Magneto. Well, we don't see, but we see Morph and Gambit and even Wolverine kind of talking, and then they want to book some training lessons in the Danger Room, and then they basically go through, and all of the sessions are booked up of Rogue and Magneto. So, like I talked about at the end of the last video, they are trying to set up the Rogue and Magneto relationship that they have in this series, which is interesting. And also, I like how Morph is basically our X-Men cameo character now, because he morphs into basically any X-Men that he wants. And when they're going up against Goblin Queen, he turns into the younger sister of Colossus, and then Goblin Queen turns him into the darker form, Dark Child, once he gets possessed. Then, while back at the X-Mansion, Wolverine is helping Jean try and control her mind, where she's going like, come on, focus, Jean. Focus on me. And it's almost like especially when she goes like, where she wakes up and she's like, oh, Logan. And Beast is like, and she's like, oh, Scott's in trouble. And Beast is like, yeah, but Jean, you need to sleep. And it's like, oh, you need to rest your body. And she's like, my body doesn't matter. And she, like psychologically makes a kind of like Star Wars Force ghost, which is kind of cool. But also it's like, because again, I'm coming from a place where I've only seen the X-Men movies, and they explore all the X-Men's powers, but they don't do it to this extent. And I like how this series extends and explores more of their powers, unlike the Fox X-Men movies did. But that's why I'm excited for the MCU X-Men movies, because they get to explore more of those ideas in live action. But then, through that Force Ghost and through Goblin Queen, we get to see Jean Grey's whole backstory and stuff like that. And what eventually breaks the spell is that they realize that the baby is Madeline's baby and not Jean Grey's. And Mr. Sinister injects Nathan with some kind of virus that turns him into more of a machine, which we know, as we talked about in the last one, that in the last breakdown, that Nathan Charles Summers is Cable. And then so Bishop takes but what happens is that once they get him out, they try to figure out what's wrong with Nathan, and they kind of go like, okay, what's wrong with him? It looks like this virus is making him more machine than man. And then they go like, Bishop, is there anyone in your timeline that can fix this problem? And he was like, yes, there is. Someone that's actually very powerful, but I only have enough. I don't know how he travels, but like, he only had enough particles or whatever for him and Nathan to go. So they were like, oh, we can't go with you. So Madeline Pryor, or Jean, I think it's Madeline Pryor, installed memories into Nathan, basically saying that this wasn't a betrayal. This is actually for a good purpose. And so Bishop and Nathan go through the portal, and then we see Storm in a bar, and a guy walks in saying that he can help her with her curing problem. So she's going to get her powers back, which is very interesting. I think that, out of the 3 episodes, I think that one is my favorite, and then 3, then 2, I think. Because I like 2, but I think that there were things that happened in 2, not that I didn't like. I love episode 2, but I think that episode 2 was just kind of one of those things where it was kind of like, kind of 50-50. Where it's like, for the most part, it's basically them at the trial for Magneto. Even though that one of my favorite jokes in this whole series at the moment that I didn't talk about in episode 2 when I broke it down was when Jean's first having the baby, and she's like, Logan, he's here. And he's like, who? Shit! Apocalypse! I thought that was hilarious. But no, so guys, I'm about to run out of space on here. So guys, please hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, subscribe us at the little bell icon to get notified future videos I make. I'll see you guys next time.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.